It's been a busy weekend, everyone, but it's still time to go wild. Well, we're managing to get another Time to Go Wild radio podcast out for you. We are available via YouTube and Podbean. Also taken up by Google Podcasts and Amazon Music Podcasts. If you want to contact us throughout the week, you can do. Facebook or Twitter.com/TTGW Radio or email radio@widneswild.co.uk. Text 07849767755. Well, the weekend's been busy. Let's have a little roundup. You know what to do. Stay with us. It's time to go wild. A warm welcome once again to the Time to Go Wild radio podcast for another week. It's a little later than normal, but just been busy. One of the things is I had the video camera out of mothballs for this weekend just gone. Widnes Wild Ladies were in action against the Whitley Bay Beacons in the newly named WNIHL Division 2, which replaced the Division 1 league. I'll explain that a little later on. But, of course, there's been action across all of the leagues all weekend, and interesting news coming from certain quarters, including our very own YKK Widnes Wild, as well as some disciplinary stuff from the league, with some updates. So, where shall we start? Let's do the usual. It's results time. Using our little bit of internet that we have to bring you a roundup of results from a number of leagues, starting off with the Elite League Challenge Cup action. Starting off on Wednesday the 12th of October, Coventry Blaze 5, Guildford Flames 3. On Saturday, Nottingham Panthers 4, Manchester Storm 1. On Sunday, Manchester Storm 2, Nottingham Panthers 3 after a shootout, and Guildford Flames 4, Cardiff Devils 6. League action from the EIHL now from Friday. Dundee Stars 4, Nottingham Panthers 2. On Saturday, Glasgow Clan 2, Guildford Flames 4. Cardiff Devils 2, Sheffield Steelers 5. Belfast Giants 7, Coventry Blaze 0. Fife Flyers 2, Dundee Stars 4. And on Sunday, Sheffield Steelers 6, Fife Flyers 0. Coventry Blaze 4, Belfast Giants 5. We have Planet Ice NIHL National League results from Friday. Bristol Pitbulls 7, Swindon Wildcats 3. On Saturday, Raiders 3, Hull Seahawks 1, Basingstoke Bison 1, Leeds Knights 3, Swindon Wildcats 4, Milton Keynes Lightning 2, Telford Tigers 1, Peterborough Phantoms 2, Sheffield Steel Dogs 3, Bees 1, and on Sunday, Bees 4, Telford Tigers 8, Milton Keynes Lightning 6, Bristol Pitbulls 2, Peterborough Phantoms 7, Raiders 4, Hull Seahawks 2, Sheffield Steel Dogs 5, Leeds Knights 4, Basingstoke Bison 1. NIHL Division 1 North Morley action from Saturday. Solway Sharks 9, Nottingham Lions 1. On Sunday, Solihull Barons 7, Blackburn Hawks 3. Nottingham Lions 7, Deeside Dragons 5, Whitley Warriors 2, Solway Sharks 1, Billingham Stars 6, Widnes Wild 3. And NIHL Division 2 North Laidler action from Saturday. Hull Jets 12, Nottingham Lions N2 2, Bradford Bulldogs 2, Sutton Sting 5. And on Sunday, Telford Tigers N2 8, Coventry NIHL Blaze 2, Sheffield Titans 0, Hull Jets 4, and one result from the WNIHL Division 2, the women's leagues, of course. Only one I can find at the moment. From Sunday, Widnes Wild Ladies 9, Whitley Bay Beacons 0. Little roundup of results from across the leagues that I was able to get the results for this week. Of course, we'll try and bring you as many as we can, week after week, here on the Time to Go Wild radio show. More, of course, next time. Well, busy weekend for a lot of teams there, and some big results. If we start off with some of the Elite League results, Sheffield with a 6-0 win over Fife. Belfast with 7-0 win over Coventry. Nottingham Panthers finally getting a bit of a win streak going, beating Manchester Storm 4-1 in the Challenge Cup on Saturday, but then a tight game winning 3-2 in a shootout in Manchester on Sunday. In the National League, big win for Bristol Pitbulls, a 7-3 win over Swindon. And another big result, Telford 8 beating Bees 8-4 on the Sunday. Milton Keynes 6-2 winners over Bristol on the Sunday. Some big results. Division 2 North Laidler, Hull Jets 12-2 winners over the Nottingham Lions N2 team. Solway beating Nottingham in Division 1 North Morley 9-1. Widnes Wild unfortunately going down by 6-3 up in Billingham on Sunday. But one of the other big results is the Widnes Wild Ladies on Sunday. First home game of the new season. And the women's divisions have been renamed this year. So you still have the Women's Elite, but what was the Women's Premier League is now the Women's Division 1, and what was Div 1 is now Division 2. They just decided they were going to rename them more, try and make them mean a bit better. So that's what they've done. So, they were taking on... Now, Whitley Bay do actually have a team in the... I think it's the Division 1 league. I may be wrong. It might... I don't think it... Is it Elite or is it Division... The Division 1 league? I'm getting so confused these days. It's so tricky to keep up. I'm just having a quick look now to see if I can see which teams are in which league. No, but anyway, the teams are... The leagues are now WNIHL Elite Division, WNIHL 1 and WNIHL 2, and then there's the WNIHL Under 16s. So I hope people don't get too confused about when we refer to the Whitley Bay Beacons at the moment, because we're referring to the Whitley Bay Beacons team that played in the WNIHL 2 league against the Widnes Wild Ladies on Sunday. I was out of retirement as well. Back behind the video camera, still keeping my eye in, so there's action available through the usual YouTube video sharing outlet. So give it a look. The girls from both teams gave their all, worked really hard. In fact, if I can find my... Yep, I have my game sheet here. It was a shame. Whitley were quite short benched, so Steph Drinkwater in the Widnes goal only faced a total of 5 shots in the first and second periods. Then for the second half of the game, for the second half of the second period, if that makes sense, and the third period, we had Ellie Green in goal for the ladies. She faced 5 shots, but Jess Kinghorn for the Whitley Bay Beacons, what a number of shots. 85 shots. That is phenomenal how many shots she faced. And she was really good. She absolutely stood on her head. Did a fantastic job. The 9-0 doesn't really do the amount of work that she did and the rest of the team justice. It was great to see them on the ice. Neither team gave up to the very end. And, 85 shots in a game. It was... Where are we? 34 shots in the first, 21 in the second, and 30 in the third. So, Jess, I hope if you're listening, I hope you're not having too many nightmares about seeing pucks. Fantastic job. Brilliant stuff. And we did try, and unfortunately made a bit of a pills of it, tried to get an interview with Lise Gillen, who got the MVP for the ladies. We were trying to do a video interview, and unfortunately I pressed the buttons wrong. It didn't quite work. However, I did get an audio interview with Laura Marcroft, and this is what she had to say.
I'm with Laura Marcroft after the Wild Ladies took on the Whitley Bay Beacons, first home game of the new season. Big scoreline, made up for last week, but last week it was a short bench and a few important key players missing, but tonight everything came together.
Yeah, it definitely did. It felt good to be out there winning games, and that's normal in Division 1, so it felt fantastic, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, they've restructured all the leagues now, so it's a whole new league name, but either way, it's what was the D1 league, but it's now... Prem's now D1 and D2's now D1's now D2. It's all we'll get there in the end with the nomenclature, but either way, it was lots of good passes, flowing, skating, and it all came together for tonight was important.
Yeah, it felt really good. I think it was a lot of people playing in new lines, learning to play together as well, and I think it definitely gelled out there on the ice, playing with people that are brand new to the team, and you could just see that the communication was there, the actual looking up for passes and getting ready, and quite frankly just taking shots on net, which we've not done a lot in the past, so it felt great.
It was, some lovely tape-to-tape passes, big moments, both goaltenders out there tonight. Ellie was playing really well. Steph, of course, a stalwart for the Wild Ladies, but Ellie in that third period, particularly towards the end, faced some very, very important shots and stood her ground.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the second, towards the end of the game, we could tell that a few of our defenders maybe got a bit tired, and we left Ellie to dry a bit more than we did Steph. But she definitely held her own, and I think the bench really had her back every single time. She made a save, and we were all there for her because we just wanted to see her do well. And first game for the senior women's team, and I thought she played fantastic.
I mean, yeah, as you just said, it's very tough for a goaltender sometimes coming in. I'd say there's first and second string goalies, but it's a tough one at this level anyway. But particularly when legs are tired and you've been sat on the bench, and then you come in as the swapped goalie, and then legs get tired that last part of the third period, and next thing you know, you can't. You're left out to dry, as you say.
Yeah, definitely. I also really love Ellie's attitude as well. She's great standing next to on the bench. She's always cheering. She'll appreciate me saying how loud she is on the bench. You can hear her when you're on the ice cheering you on, and she's just a great player as well. So it's nice that she brings that levity to the team.
And I've seen Ellie play at the junior levels here in the past season or so, and yeah, she's a tough cookie out there, and she doesn't give quarter. It's a case of she's in the zone.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can see it in her, and she just brought that fire again towards the end, so it was great to see her on the ice.
And all in all, a nice performance, a nice way to start the season off for the team. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's been a tough season last year for everybody. It really, you could tell people were feeling a bit ground down, but this, even after last week's game, well, the last game up in Solway, I should say, that was a tough loss, but in a way, not a bad result.
No, the game in Solway was so positive. I think we came away from that and we knew we could have won if we would have had, no offence to Charlotte, she played absolutely fantastic, but she's not a goalie, and she'll admit that herself. So, but the fact that she made as many saves as she did just proves how fantastic she is as a player. And yeah, so it was so many positives to take away from that. And just playing here today, you could see it in the crowd as well. Like, everybody just had that next level atmosphere because everybody was just so excited to see us scoring goals and winning the game, and yeah, it was a nice feeling.
I mean, yeah, Charlotte Cramp stepping up to be in goal. It's a tough call, particularly when you're not used to it, or you might have occasionally had to go in a scrim, but the way goaltenders bend, it's not natural sometimes, I'm sure.
No, definitely it's not.
Anyway, we've just had some rather loud music start, so we'll call stop to this one, unfortunately. Laura, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Many thanks, Laura. And we'll be catching up with the ladies more and more throughout the season. They've got a game coming up in a couple of weeks as well. So, keep your eyes and ears open, and of course plenty of action, not just from the YKK Widnes Wild, but also the Wild Ladies and all of the Wild Academy out of Planet Ice Widnes. So, in a change to previous advertised stuff, we have a new signing at the YKK Widnes Wild. Many people might have been caught on the hop by this. I was. So, from the widneswild.co.uk website, we can now say YKK-sponsored Widnes Wild are pleased to announce the signing of experienced forward Jacob Corson-Heron for the remainder of the season. He's not played competitive hockey for several seasons, but has an impressive CV. He's played over 300 games at EPL level for the Manchester Phoenix, Basingstoke Bison, and the Milton Keynes Lightning. He was a Milton Keynes junior player and was selected for the Southwest Conference team on 3 occasions. And he has 2 EPL titles to his name, winning the league with Milton Keynes and with Manchester's Phoenix. So that's fantastic from him. He's played in the 2016-17 season for the D-side Dragons for a short period when they were in the Morley division. And they're really excited. It's talking to Jacob. He's really excited to get back to playing after a long spell out with injury and work and family commitments. But now he's more motivated than ever to get back playing and seeing how far we can go with Widnes this season. And he can't wait to make his debut against Billingham this coming weekend. And our player coach Rich Hagger says, Jacob comes with lots of experience, having previously played for Manchester Phoenix. From his first season with us, he has showed his skills, the skills he possesses. So, when he's been training with the guys, he's improved week on week and is raring to go for the coming weekend. He fits straight into the team and will add speed, determination, and put 100% in every shift. Can't wait to see him playing and doing his best. So, also don't forget, his warm-up, home and away shirts are available for own and loan at £50. Sorry, not 50. It's at £80. Corrections there. £80 for each of those shirts. So you can inquire through the website for them. So there we go. We have a new signing making his debut, all being well, this weekend at Planet Ice Widnes. It's a busy old time, You don't get a respite because...
That's the sound of the police! That's the sound of the beast!
There's updates on some people who are on the naughty step. And last week we reported about Altrincham Aces and also YKK Widnes Wild goalie Evan Coles having a 1-game suspension. However, the EIHA have made an update to this, and it now reads: Altrincham Aces goalie Evan Coles was originally suspended for 1 game after a match penalty for roughing against Hull Jets on the 1st of October. After a full review, as the goalie punched with his blocker, the suspension has been increased in line with the tariff for goalies using a blocker to deliver a punch, and Coles has now been suspended for a total of 4 games. And the club was notified. So that Evan's out now for 4 games, which have to be served on as part of the Aces fixtures, and so can't feature for either club until the ban has been served. An additional penalty: D-side Dragons Carl Bacon received a match penalty for checking to the head on Sunday the 9th of October at Whitley Bay. This has been assessed as a Tier 1 in the tariff scheme and receives a 6-game suspension, and the club has been notified. Now, people have been asking me about the disciplinary scheme, and I actually have somewhere, he says, the latest updates in the disciplinary and the EIHA disciplinary policies. In the past, they've had a starting tariff, but this year the tariffs have been tabulated. And you can hear me scrolling with my mouse in the background as I find an example. So there's 2 tables now in the published document, one for the junior leagues and one for the senior leagues. And basically it's got, if it's a match penalty, it now has recommended starting tariffs, and it starts tariff 1 the lowest and tariff 5 is the biggest. And there's a whole plethora of different penalties, but to use an example, if you get a match penalty, this is match penalties by the way, for fighting, it would start as a 2-game suspension at tier 1, 4 at tier 2, 8 at tier 3, 20 at tier 4, and a season at tier 5. Another one that might often get called, and this is another what I'll call nasty one, we don't like to see this one, is headbutt, which starts at 4 games, then 8 games, 15, 20, and a season. For netminders using the blocker to punch, it starts tariff 1 is 4 games, tariff 2, 8, then 15, then 30, then 2 seasons. The PDF document is available from the EIHA website, and it has a full list of, well, a very comprehensive list, I'll say, of the penalties, the tariffs that can be applied at that level, depending upon the severity based upon reviews, of course. And, these penalties apply to the players, or can also be effective with clubs, and where all the penalty points also come from. So, like I say, unlike in previous years, they're now starting to say, at tier 1 or tariff 1 or tariff 2, so that helps to give you an idea what the penalty could be. So another example we'll say is boarding. And if it's a match, not 5-minute major in-game misconduct, we're talking match penalties, it starts at 2 games, then 4, 8, 20, and then a season. Just trying to find another one for you. Spearing is another one that often gets called for match penalties. This one starts with 4 games, then 8 games, 12 games, 20 games, and a season. So this is the idea, at least now when people say, or when the reviews say what tier it's at or what tariff it's at, this is the guidance that they're using to apply all of these different penalties. Hence why Evan's penalty for this use of his blocker is now classed as 4 games instead of the original 1-game suspension. So there you go.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast.
So that's a little roundup of the penalties situation. So, other news. Well, it's a bit quiet. We're not going too in-depth at the moment. But what we shall do is our other little usual roundup now of, when I find it, of course, the big thank you as usual to all of our sponsors for the YKK Widnes Wild. And they are title sponsor YKK. Fresco Environmental, our home penalty box sponsors. And we also have Spragues & Son, MPG, Crosscheck Clothing, Puck Drop, University of Salford, and our charity, the Halton Haven Hospice. Thank you to all of you for your continued support throughout the season. If you want anything Widnes Wild related, of course, don't forget to keep an eye on the website widneswild.co.uk or Facebook or twitter.com/widneswild. You can also have instagram.com/widneswildofficial. And there's also the Match Night Live Twitter, which I need to add to this. I can't remember it offhand, but you'll find it through Widnes Wild Twitter account. And we also have our YouTube page, youtube.com/WidnesWild Ice Hockey Club. If you want anything to do with the Own and Loan shirts, check out the website. Of course, they are all there. The grid's available. You can also inquire where all of the shirts, be it a home, an away, or a warm-up, £80, and then you get that game-worn shirt at the end of the season. And of course, if there's any more away travel coming up, keep your eye out on all of our social media outlets. To do our usual little roundup, a few fixtures coming up, not too different from before. We're getting some more collated together as the weeks go on. So starting off on this Saturday, 22nd of October, we have Solway Sharks hosting the YKK Widnes Wild up in Solway, 7 p.m. And then on Sunday, 23rd of October, YKK Widnes Wild back at Planet Ice Widnes to host the Billingham Stars, 5:30 p.m. Saturday, 29th of October, Sheffield Scimitars will be hosting the YKK Widnes Wild at 7:30 p.m. down at Ice Sheffield. And on Sunday the 30th of October, Widnes Wild ladies are back in action at Planet Ice Widnes against the Sheffield Shadows, 4:15 face-off. And then, of course, we go into November. And Saturday the 5th of November, remember the 5th of November, could be some fireworks because the D-Side Dragons are hosting the YKK Widnes Wild in M56 Cup action. It's scheduled to take place at D-Side Leisure Centre on the ice at D-Side, 5:15. That's scheduled for the 5th of November. And then there's a return game, but it's league this time. On Sunday the 6th of November, YKK Widnes Wild host the D-Side Dragons at Planet Ice Widnes, 5:30 p.m. Couple of junior fixtures I have available. Hopefully everything is still going as normal, and unfortunately the junior fixtures are still not fully available, but from what I have available, but please check with your clubs to make sure these are actually correct. I have in my calendar anyway for this Saturday 22nd of October, Wild Academy under 12s hosting Billingham at I think it's actually 4:20. Why am I saying 4:40 when I think it's 4:20? Yes. So that's 4:20 this Saturday. Wild Academy under 12s taking on Billingham at Planet Ice Widnes, and then it's followed up by the Wild Academy under 16s taking on Sutton. And that could be from 5:45, depending upon when the ice is available. So we've got under 12s and under 16s action in my calendar, but I'm not saying they're 100% confirmed. Keep an eye out and check with the relevant junior organisations to make sure you don't miss those games. And of course, if you do fancy coming down and giving any of the juniors a support, wherever you are in the country, pop down and give them your support. The kids work so hard. It's worth it, and you can have an absolute blast. I know we do at Widnes. So that about rounds things up as usual for another Time to Go Wild radio podcast. It's a busy old week, busy weekend to come. Of course, anything can happen. You know that. This is ice hockey, and this is why we love it. So, of course, wherever you are in the country, whatever you're doing, get down to your local ice rink, local ice arena, see what hockey's going on, and give some support. It could be anything from the under 10s all the way through to the under 18s. It could be ladies, it could be a scrim. Sometimes scrims can be great fun to watch for the rec, particularly with the rec guys. You have a right blast sometimes. And through to your Division 2, Division 1, National League, and of course Elite League, wherever you are in the country. Enjoy your hockey wherever you are. Be loud, be proud. Till next time, from the Plan to Go Wild radio podcast, ta-ra.